Comics and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the review show that reviews comics, chronologically, kind of. Alright, well, so I don't know, this isn't technically a hiatus episode, this is an impromptu episode because our other co-host, Lumpy, is too busy for us this week.
Yeah, he's very busy.
Yeah, so...
We're going to hear him on another podcast, that's what we're going to hear.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to be. He's too busy to help us, so we had to scrap the original plan and cover something else just ourselves. So we're going to cover the 1986 Star Wars Droids comic number 1. Before we get into it, we got a few credits to get through here. It was written by David Manek, penciled by John Romita, inked by Carlos Garzon, lettered by Grace Kramer, colored by Marie Severin. The cover artist is John Romito, and the editor is Sid Jacobson. This was released by Star Comics, which was an imprint of Marvel Comics. I'm going to assume you never heard of Star Comics.
No, but it does say on the bottom, the new world in the Marvel Universe.
So, when stuff like Harvey Comics, which did like Richie Rich and stuff like that,
okay,
went out of business, that left a hole in kids comics.
Gotcha.
And so Marvel and DC were so they started their own kids line, and Star Comics is the kids version line of Marvel Comics. Their first. Okay. Oh God, sorry.
Did they pick up Harvey Comics, or did they just wanted to fill the spot that Harvey Comics left open?
They actually they were going to start with Harvey Comics and do comics of Casper and stuff like that.
Right.
But the deal fell through because the Harvey brothers couldn't agree on it, so they never went through with it. So they ended up changing focus. Their first comic they did was the comic adaptation of the movie The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Why did we do that one?
Because I just realized I had a comic.
I think I know what I'm picking from my next hiatus episode.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-issue miniseries of The Muppets Take Manhattan.
My other podcast, we do a minute by minute, and I wanted to do the Muppets so bad, but my co-host Jeff was saying, do you know how many times we're going to get in trouble with people who want to know who the puppeteers are, and, things like that, and we decided not to. I do believe someone is doing the Muppets, though.
Yeah, well, we don't do minute by minute, sorry.
Yeah, I know. We do comic by comic.
But, so yeah, they did that adaptation. They also had but that was a comic you know what a movie adaptation of a comic is, right?
Yeah.
So, but they had an actual line of comics for Fraggle Rock,
nice,
Heathcliff, a Strawberry Shortcake, the Ewoks, Muppet Babies.
Oh, come on.
And which the one that they seem to be pushing everywhere that I see this is Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. So,
is that a newer one?
No, I don't think so.
Because that sounds like the from the Simpsons movie. Remember he was doing Spider Pig?
Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig.
Yeah, I think they stole it.
But the Spider-Ham, he's in Spider-Man in the Multiverse, isn't he, the cartoon?
I think so, and I think they got it from the comics.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, apparently they covered a lot of different things. But this is a new company, so I figured we'd go over it.
Now, this comic book is kiddie, but it doesn't strike me as, just aimed for kids.
No, it's Star Wars.
Right. So whoever had got this gig they thought they had a gold mine here.
Well, yeah, and obviously they are, like I said in the areas, they were doing Ewoks at the same time. Right. So that was another kids one, and they probably had 1,000 Star Wars comics going too.
Probably.
Because this is 1986. I think that was around Jedi, wasn't it?
God, you're going to have me quoting times. I would guess it was around Jedi, but I think it...
Well, I know Star Wars, the original was 79.
Okay.
So, which means Empire was 82, 83, which makes me think Jedi was around 86.
You're not stalling long enough.
I'm trying to stall. I'm sorry.
May 25th, 1983, Return of the Jedi was released.
Wow.
So it's 3 years after.
Wow, they actually made those movies quicker than I thought then.
Yeah. But don't forget, there was a lot of crap came on after that, too. The Ewok series, the Christmas special. I don't know when the Christmas was.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars was popular throughout the 80s forever.
They never let it, like, die out. They always put something out there just to keep it, afloat.
Right. And it's funny? I mean, Marvel still has the rights to Star Wars.
Do they really?
They're still making Star Wars comics.
Well, Marvel's in with Disney, and Disney is the owner of everything at this point, aren't they?
Yeah, but this is 1986 before all that.
Right. So was that part of the deal maybe when they bought Marvel and Star Wars, they were all combined?
No, because they bought Marvel in 2010, I think it is. And I think Star Wars was 2015 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not 100%. But I know they bought Marvel from Marvel, and they bought Star Wars from George Lucas separately.
Oh, okay.
Marvel just had the publishing rights to the comics since, I guess, 1986.
Wow.
So, I mean, which is smart because, it's Star Wars. Why would you not publish Star Wars comics?
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah. All right. You want to get into this proper?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. You want to do the cover?
The cover is very bright, and there's an odd-looking C-3PO and R2-D2 on the cover, and R2-D2's colors are all wrong. Did you notice that?
Yes.
His colors, he doesn't have the blue and the white. He's got purple, red, yellow. They really changed them up a little bit. And then there's two robots, a green one and a purple one, fighting in the background.
So, wasn't there a cartoon with these two, 3PO and R2-D2?
I do think there was a Droids cartoon. I can't say I've seen it.
No, I can't say I've seen it, but the way they're drawn might be from the animated show, because it looks like that's what they're from.
Oh, that is a possibility. I didn't even think of that. That is
the animated versions.
Yeah.
This might be a comic tie-in to the cartoon, too. So, I mean, if we're even in the right year.
Right.
We did no research for this.
Well, this was impromptu, but maybe next time, since I did enjoy the comic book, maybe we'll do another one and we'll be a little more prepared. Who knows? Maybe not.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, on the cover, C-3PO's also saying that now we done it, R2. These metal monsters may destroy his entire planet, and us along with it. And,
okay, Droids Animated Series, 1985.
So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is.
Uh-huh. You know what else is funny about this comic? It was released on April 1st, on April Fool's Day.
So people thought it was, this isn't real.
Yeah, probably not. But, yeah, so, and 3PO is just doing his noises. That's his dialogue throughout the whole thing. Which is hard to get over in a comic book.
Honestly, I hear him in my head, though. And that's R2-D2, by the way, not 3PO.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
I hear his whistling and beeps when I read his comic.
Do you?
So, yeah.
See, I stopped reading his dialogue altogether.
Did you?
Yeah, because it's just like re-roo and stuff like that. It's just different versions of that. And so I just stopped reading. I just skipped over his dialogue boxes. Because 3PO is going to tell me what he said anyway.
Right. But I guess it's so ingrained from watching the movies that I just hear his beeps and whizzes when I read that.
Yeah. So this comic is also 75 cents.
75 cents seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know what comics cost. We've been working in the 40s, and then we skipped to like the 2000s where they're $5.99. So who knows what they were in '86? So
apparently in the 80s they still didn't break $1.
Okay.
But is that only because it's Droids and not like Spider-Man?
I gotta think that Droids would be just as popular at that point in time. Not just as popular, but within the range of the other comiks.
I never got the popularity of, 3PO.
He is a little annoying. I like R2-D2, but...
I mean, I like R2-D2 too, but are these two really that popular? Did they just spun off of this, or did they just think they were popular?
I don't know. I mean, I know the figures sell. If I put them on eBay, they do sell.
I mean, well, that's fair, but so does every other Star Wars thing, doesn't it?
True. Most Star Wars things do sell.
I don't know. Anyway... This is also approved by the Comic Code Authority, which we haven't got to in the 40s, but I'm surprised it's still around in 86.
We did get to something. Remember, they put a little stop to his murders and stuff, Batman's murders and stuff in the 40s?
That was the change in editing board in DC Comics.
Okay, that wasn't the Comics Guild then?
That wasn't the Comics Code Authority. We did talk about the Comics Code Authority before, but we haven't got there yet, so I didn't really dive into it. But essentially what they did was they made sure that they toned down all the death, all the sex, and all that thing. They pretty much censored comics to make it all kid-friendly.
Why does it have to be... Well, nowadays, I guess because we're so used to it, but I don't understand why everything has to be kid-friendly. Can adults read comics?
Well, not back then. Apparently back then, it was thought of just kid stuff.
Right, okay.
Especially in the time...
You know what? Growing up, I remember every once in a while they would put a cartoon on for adults late at night, and I was young. And you weren't allowed to watch it. Like, your parents would watch it and laugh and stuff, but you weren't allowed to see it. So I guess it was, that had to be 80s, like, late 80s.
Well, yeah, but, like, in the 70s and stuff, any comics and stuff, like, cartoons are all referred to as kid stuff. If you watch cartoons, you're a kid.
Right.
So, that didn't change until, like, recent years, actually. Until, like, the 70s and 80s kids grew up and started saying... This, we're watching our cartoons and reading our comics.
We're gonna watch them. Yeah. I'm not embarrassed anymore. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, I guess that's it for the cover. And for some reason at the bottom it says Legends. I don't know what that banner is, so...
I don't see that banner.
You don't have that banner?
No. And I got the comic from you, so...
Oh. Well, I'm not reading from the comic version that I have.
Oh, you went out and bought this?
No. I'm reading a scan right now.
Ah, okay.
Because it's the comic that I bought it when I bought it and downloaded it and sent it to you. It's on my other computer, but I'm on the work computer right now. So
right.
All right, let's dive into the comic itself. We open up in space.
Right off the bat, I tried to figure this out. Now, is R2-D2 or R2-D2 and C-3PO always just getting sold to other people? Like every time you see them, if they're not with, Luke Skywalker, they are like being bought by somebody. Like, do you get sick of them and get rid of them? I guess you could get sick of C-3PO pretty easy.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know when this takes place.
True. This could be beforehand.
This could be before they get to Tatooine.
True.
So... who knows what part of the timeline we're in, because they don't explain it.
But, I've seen them get sold even in the movies a couple times.
That's fair, but, the first time was to Luke.
Yes.
But the second time that I remember was Jabba, and that was, like, a ploy.
Right, but no, before that, they were Leia's droids, right? Or, no, they belonged to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, and then Obi-Wan...
Did what? Sold them to somebody else?
No, wasn't he with the Resistance or something?
He may have sent them with Leia.
Yes, and he gave them to Leia in the Resistance. No, actually, he probably gave them to Leia's dad. And
we really don't know. We're going to get yelled at by Star Wars fans.
Well, here's the thing. I have to remember Return of the Sith and the prequel movies in order to get this straight.
Be careful. That's somebody's trilogy, just so you know.
That's not fair to me.
That's somebody's trilogy. I actually know a guy who says that is his favorite trilogy.
Yeah, I know. I actually don't think
not the originals.
I actually think they're not that bad, but
I don't think they're that bad. They're too much politics and things. I could cut 40 minutes out of each of those movies, and then I would probably like them.
Yeah, the first one's particularly annoying, but it's not terrible.
The first one's annoying only if you hate what is his name, Jar Jar.
Well, no, Anakin Kid's pretty bad too.
Anakin Kid's pretty bad too, I guess. My daughter likes that one. She likes that.
Well, I liked it too when it first came out when I was younger.
You know what stinks is I like Darth Maul.
Yeah, I know.
The red guy with the spikes. I like him, but he's not even in the movies. Barry, he's barely in them.
Yeah, he's killed at the end of that first one.
Right? No, second one.
No, first one.
First one.
He's cut in half by Obi-Wan at the end of the movie because Qui-Gon gets killed.
I met him in Disney World, by the way.
Oh, did you? Darth Maul?
Yeah. Not the actor, the actual character.
I know who you meant. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was going by in a parade.
Oh, that's nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So, the spaceship's flying. Before we get into anything, I just want to mention the art is kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and odd. Like the one robot is a dinosaur if you look at him.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, but and it's weird because some panels have a lot of background,
right,
and some don't.
I don't hate it. I like the way it's drawn.
Right, it feels like a cartoon.
Yeah, it feels, I don't know how to explain it, like comfortable. Like I'm like, this is good. I can deal with this.
Right. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, so a ship is heading to a planet, and yeah, they're heading to a planet, and this is called Star Wars Droids in the Destroyer. This part of the story.
Yeah, that's weird too, by the way. This is 2 stories, but they're 1 story.
Yeah. And we're inside the ship. We have R2 and 3PO talking to what looks like a dinosaur raptor droid and a treadmill droid.
Or Robbie the robot. Oh yeah, he does have like treadmill feet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
And the no brand droids are talking about how bad the planet they're going to is, and 3PO is like, "Don't listen to them. We're going there. It'll be fine. At least it's inhabited."
Right. Apparently, they've been the ones that weren't inhabited at all. So at least there's people on there.
And I don't know who's driving this ship. Is this just a ship full of droids?
Like, is it because nobody gets off but R2 and C-3PO.
Right, because they land and they get off, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
They're looking for their new master.
Apparently they were already sold, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're already sold, and they're heading to the new master.
Lot Kemp, his name is.
Lot Kemp?
Lot Kemp.
Lot
Kemp. Yeah, he's a crystal merchant.
Anyway, there's some comedy as R2 gets scared and falls down the ramp, knocks 3PO over.
Yep, I can hear him whistling and beeping as he falls down the ramp.
And
so, of course, 3PO starts complaining right away.
Of course.
So that's what he does.
And we get they're going to the address of their new master, and there's this kid with like a Rambo, what is it called? Headband and a laser band. He looks like the generic 80s cartoon kid.
Yes, he's got a ray gun. His blonde hair all messed up and hanging down over top of his red headband.
Yeah. He looks like he should be in like Archie comics or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So he points his laser gun at 3PO and R2, and he's like, "Stop where you are." And then they're like, "We mean you no harm." And he was like, "Okay, I just had to make sure you weren't working for Cug." And so he just takes their word for him.
Yeah, but they do ask him, right? About the guy who's supposed to be there. Oh, okay, it's the next page. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead here. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. I don't want to ruin it. So Cug is the governor of the planet.
Yes.
And if you don't do what he says, he sends a killer droid to kill you.
Yeah, his destroyer is what he calls it. And so that's your plot for it. And so 3PO and R2's master was apparently chased away by Cug, wasn't killed, because I guess this is a kid's comic.
It says he managed to escape here with his life, but I'm pretty sure the kid later on says that the rest of his family was taken out by the killer droid.
Well, yeah, you're right. They did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but their master escaped, so I guess they work for this kid now.
Well, he asked them if they want a job, so yeah.
So, yeah, the droids are working for a kid. So they get on a land speeder, and then we get introduced to Cug in his mansion, where he's laughing at... I guess he records the footage of all the time his destroyer goes and destroys people.
Yeah, he likes to watch people get murdered, I think. He likes that. Yeah, he's laughing.
He's looking at a TV and watching it happen.
He looks like, I'm not sure which one it is, Bebop or Rocksteady, but the pig one from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He actually looked like, to me, the pigs in Jabba's lair.
Oh, the Gamma guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a Gamma guard without a hat on.
Yeah, and he's like a putrid green.
He's a really gross-looking green color, yeah.
And I just noticed, is his manner a snail?
It does kind of look like something from SpongeBob, but...
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah, it's two big, like, bubbles that make, like, a snail shell, and then... Yeah, it's weird. It's not... I don't think it's supposed to be. It looks like maybe they were going for, like, a nuclear power plant or something.
Maybe. Just to have weird angles and stuff because it's space.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's watching TV, and his destroyer is just in the background going,
Which, I'm trying to watch something. Why don't you shut up? You're being annoying.
But he's talking to his robot, telling him how...
Look who's finally
This is... You sent me a comic book with a... I can't turn it down. With an advertisement in the middle of it.
How?
I turned the next page and an advertisement came up.
That's weird.
That was weird. I must be the reader I'm using.
Yeah, because that's never happened before.
But it's also the reader you sent me to, so...
Really?
Yes. I told you, I had an advertisement pop up the last time, too, and then I couldn't get out of it. But this time it's working well, except for that one advertisement I just exited out.
I never have advertisements on it.
I don't know. But you said you have a pop-up blocker. I don't, so maybe that's why.
Oh, maybe.
Hey, I don't put a pop-up blocker on my phone, because I usually don't get pop-ups on my phone.
Well, I have it on my computer, not on my phone.
Yeah, well, I read on my phone so I can lay back and relax.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Now I lost my spot, thanks.
Well, that advertisement, we are not affiliated with that company or whatever it was, because I forgot. I didn't even see what it was. I exited out, but...
I was probably just going to cut it anyway.
Okay. Or don't. I don't care. So, we're on Zwoosh with the land speeder. He was talking to his robot.
Oh, you're right, but what was he talking about?
He just called him his friend. Tonight they're going to visit the Citizens Monthly Council.
And get them to pay... and
the latest tax increase, yeah.
Yes. Back to the kid who takes him to Droids to his crappy house.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's in the base of a tree. Like, it looks like maybe a cave or something.
Cave, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, the kid reminds me of Anakin Skywalker.
Like a cartoon version, maybe? Yeah, he's got a little vest on. Yeah.
Because he's also got all kinds of like electronics and stuff.
He is typical Star Wars kid. That's what he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of junk in his place.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would sell it, but I don't know what half the stuff is. And then 3PO's like, I can identify this stuff for you. And I was like, oh yeah? Let me show you this one thing that I found. And he goes over to his... I don't know why he covered this box with a blanket, but...
Because how are you going to have a big reveal if you don't have a blanket over it?
Right. So he unveils it, and it's just a green box with an X1 on it. But good.
He sends R2-D2 into a seizure.
R2 freaks out.
Starts beeping and whirring all over the whole room, knocking stuff over.
And then he goes and hides in a crate. But we find out that it is a robot, a Ranger X1. It was what's the word I'm looking for? Where they discontinued.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was discontinued series by the Intergalactic Law Agency. And I don't know why it was. They don't really tell you why.
But it was brought here by the Crystal Mine Pioneers for protection, so it's a defense robot.
Right, but they forgot to pick it up when they, left town, I guess.
Because everybody always leaves, like, $2 billion robots laying around when they leave and stuff.
I guess if they had 17 million of them.
Maybe they forgot one.
Yeah. Anyway, the kid wants to activate it, and R2 tries, but it doesn't have its power cells are corroded. So the kid has anger issues and kicks it.
He does. He's mad now.
Uh-huh. And it comes to life. And it's just a giant yellow robot with like a domed head.
Yeah, it's okay. It looks like a protecting robot. It looks like...
Yeah.
It's very bulky and tall.
Right. It's kind of bland, honestly.
It is a little bland, but like I realize most of the robots aren't they?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
His energy level was so low that he would hardly be able to walk, let alone fight.
Right.
Okay.
But that's what 3PO says. But the robot hits him in the back and knocks him into a thing of water. And that's always... It's always confused me about Star Wars droids. Are they waterproof?
I mean, they get wet. They're out in the snow. They like...
Yeah.
But you could see all of their... 3PO's stomach, if you look, you could see all his wires.
That's my point. So do they not just get shorted out ever, or?
I guess not. I mean, I did see him like get torn apart and his like everything like sparked and stuff when that happened, but
yeah, but that shut him down and stuff.
Yeah, so
that was a whole plot line in Empire.
Yeah, all I remember from that is Chewbacca carrying him around in a backpack with his legs sticking up next to his head.
Well, yeah.
I think I might even have had that action figure.
Anyway, the kid's like, all right, we're going to the council meeting. On to part 2, I guess.
Oh, that's it. That was the end of the first story. Okay, end of the podcast. They went to a council meeting.
The end.
Then why would they end the story there?
I don't know. It says, the next page says, the droids in the showdown, part 2 of the Destroyer.
Okay.
And we're at a council meeting
You know
for
what?
Star Trek.
I guess as a kid, even sometimes now, if I'm reading for too long, I gotta stop. At least that's a stopping point. Like if you're on the toilet reading your comic book, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
The next story. I'll put this down.
Yeah, I can come back to part 2. I don't need to read the rest of this.
Right,
I can finish that tomorrow.
Then you're not tying the bathroom up. If you only got one bathroom in the house, that's good. I like that. We should do that in all the comics now.
Anyway, we're at a council meeting with a bunch of Star Trek people.
Star Wars. Oh, no, they're Star Trek. You're right.
No, they're Star Trek.
Yeah, they just don't have their little triangle on their shirt, but they do look like Star Trek people.
They're wearing Starfleet uniforms.
Yeah, they are. Or tracksuits.
Yeah, or tracksuits. I suppose it could be tracksuits. But one of the heavy set guy on the left has pointy ears like a Vulcan.
He does.
So
this is a crossover here.
So, but Cug comes in. He's like, "All right, I'm here for my money," and the council leader is like, "No, we're not giving you no money. We're not going to do anything you ask."
That's pretty much what the meeting was about. How we're not giving him no money anymore.
Right, and so he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's do what I ask or else, pretty much. And he's like, "Or what, Cug?" And then the destroyer comes in. What did you think was going to happen?
They know he has a destroyer.
Yeah, I never understood. They just decided they're not going to pay him money with no plan to stop the destroyer.
All we're going to do is tell him no, and that's it.
Right.
And he's going to walk away scared because we said no. I guess. I don't know.
I found that weird.
Yeah.
But, so the destroyer comes in and destroys the place, and then the guy's like, "Okay, here you go. Here's the money."
Well, that is his name, the destroyer. What did they think he was going to do? And they had the money. So their plan stinks. Like, they were ready to pay him anyway if he came in and made them give him the money.
Right.
These guys are idiots.
They are.
No wonder they need a little kid to come and save them. No wonder.
Well, it's more like they need a bigger robot to come and save them.
Oh, they didn't have the money. Okay, they didn't have the money there because he's told them to be at my mansion tomorrow at noon for first payment.
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. I need to bring up something real quick. I feel like I'm missing in this version of the comic that I'm reading.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That I saw in the version that I sent you, but it hasn't come up yet. Yeah, it's not on this version. It's very weird.
What?
Hold on. I'll find it in a moment. Yeah. So, in the version that I gave you,
okay,
back right before they go to the right before it goes to part 2,
yeah,
where the kid says, we're going to the council meeting, it says continued in this issue at the bottom of that.
Right.
But in the version that I'm reading, the scans doesn't have that.
Oh, maybe it was two separate. Maybe they handed them out as like small, previews and get the comic book to see the second half.
Maybe, but I think I'm reading from a different publication of it.
Oh.
Because the version you got's the original.
Okay.
Because it, I could tell by the faded colors. Mine looks like a reprint.
Oh, so maybe it came out like a compilation. Maybe it's like a trade paperback with all 8 of them or whatever. That's
probably what the Legend banner was that I was looking at.
Yeah.
Because, I'm looking at it, and that doesn't have the to be continued on it. And I just found that the to be continued in this issue. Weird. Why are we continued in this issue? Why was that needed?
Again, so you can stop right there. You can, you can wash your hands and go back to what you were doing. And then you come back later and get the continuation.
I guess. Anyway, so the destroyer comes and does this thing. They agree to give him the money. And while the kid shows up too late with the droids to the council meeting, and kid's like, look what I got. And the old guy's like, no, that's bad. Go away. You're not supposed to have that robot. Why?
Are they going to take it from him, or are they just going to let him go? Listen, boy, I don't even want to know where you found that relic, but you better get rid of it before we're all killed. Okay, so he doesn't trust the thing, but he's going to have the kid in charge of getting rid of it.
Right, and not only that, but you're being pretty much blackmailed. Don't you think you should use the giant robot?
Well, they're not very... They were going to tell the guy no, and the guy said, well, then I'll kill you all, and then they got scared anyway. So they stink as council.
That's
right?
one way. Yes.
I mean, it's a way of putting it, but yeah, they're not good. Like, they had no plan at all. So for them to even think about making a plan with this is scaring them now.
Yeah, they're really bad at their jobs, essentially.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Anyway, so the kid's all dejected, but some old man comes over to him and says, "Don't give up. We have to fight."
Yeah,
While I stand up.
That's why I'm growing my beard in, because it's always the guy with the beard who's smarter and comes over and makes him, tells him what to do.
Well, that's not what I took away from it. I took away is, we gotta fight. Kid, go fight for us.
We gotta fight, but I'm too old and bearded.
Right. You do it. Anyway, the next day, they bring the money to Cug. Cug's like, by the way, Cug tripled the amount that he wants now.
Oh.
So they have to bring triple. And he's like there, but the kid shows up and Cug's like, "Who dares?" And he's like, "Me and my giant robot."
Yeah, pretty much. And now, who yells at him? Not Cug. The guy who was in the council that was going to tell him no is the one who says, "You little fool, what are you doing here?"
Right. And then Cug sticks his robot on their robot, and there's a big robot fight. But, oh no, the kid's robot is running low on the energy, and he can barely walk and move any no more, and then he starts to get beat up. So the kid's like, "We gotta help."
So this is the planet of bad plans. The kid knew that there was something wrong with the cells in the battery and took the robot to fight anyway.
Right, but you would think at some point, maybe recharge the robot?
Well, didn't R2 say that the robot was broken?
No, he said the power cells were drained.
Oh, they were just drained. Well,
or corroded, or something like that.
Yeah, clean them up a little bit. Maybe talk to R2 and see if maybe he knows how to charge them up, because apparently he does.
Yeah, exactly. But after the kid's robot gets destroyed, the kid comes up with his laser and shoots the robot. If that would have worked, they would have done that a long time ago.
Yeah. If somebody would have shot that robot the first time it came out, if that would have worked.
Yeah, exactly. So the robot backhands the kid and knocks him out for 3 seconds. And he's like, "We gotta..." And so R2 rushes off and shoots his... What's that wire thing he plugs into everything?
The wire thing.
Yeah, into the back of Cug's robot. And apparently he has 2 of them, because he shoots another one out. I've never seen him use 2 at the same time.
No, but he always comes up with something weird anyway. He's got a little hand in there and stuff.
Right. So his second one goes right into the stomach of the main robot, which doesn't look like it has a docking area.
There definitely was not a plug there when they first showed him. I didn't see a plug there. Maybe it's what is that called when you can just lay your phone on the circle and it charges it? Maybe it's like that.
No, I don't know, but maybe. But so he steals Cug's robot's energy and gives it to the other guy's energy, and they get and then the kid's robot hugs the other robot, and they blow up.
Wait, the kid's robot hugs the other robot, and then all these red dots come out that look like hearts, and they look like they're in love.
They look like hearts.
Well, they're like red, and they're all over the place. So right away, I thought hearts.
They're like circle with spiky things out of them.
Well, they look like a real heart, not a drawn heart.
Oh, okay. But anyway, they blow up. Boom. And somehow the kid's robot's still there, but the other robot's gone.
Literally blown to smithereens is what C-3PO says.
Right.
With poor little R2.
Yeah. But R2 is so fine, but apparently all of his details were blown off because...
Yeah, it blew the color off him.
It's just... His half's drawn there.
He almost looks transparent now.
Yeah. But the day is saved, and the council arrests Cugs, and they thank the kid, and the kid's like, "We must remember the robot that saved us all." And then that's it. But I guess later on, the kid and the robots are getting in a spaceship, and they're like, "We have to get R2. R2 was hurt in the explosion. We got to get him to a planet to get him fixed up." And they get in the ship and they take off to go fix R2.
The kid makes a pretty good point, though. The kid's like, "Why can't we just repair him here?"
The kid does?
Well, R2 sustained some pretty serious Microsynapse damage. And, we just can't repair him here. Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
Just can't.
R2 asks why do we have to leave so... not R2. 3PO asks why we have to leave so soon. And
so the kid...
we can't...
Is the kid going with him?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the kid's ship?
I guess.
Or are they stealing someone's ship? Is that the governor's ship?
Or is that the droid ship they showed up in? Because it looks like it.
Does it? Let me go back to it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going back to the beginning of the comic.
Okay. I'll talk with our other co-host that's here right now.
Wait, let's just get quiet and see if we can hear cats meowing in the background like Lumpy's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is the same ship. It's the droid ship. But, they were getting dropped off, so who brought them? Who sent them there?
Maybe it was R2's ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the droids on the ship are just the people who, drive it.
Maybe. I don't know. But R2 makes some beeping noises, and then C-3PO says, "That's a silly question. Of course I'm proud of you." Ah, what a nice ending. That was a nice ending.
It was a cute comic. It was a little ridiculous, but it was cute.
I liked it. You know what? I'd like to see a movie like that, because that would have a big Godzilla-like scene with the two giant robots fighting and stuff. It would be fun.
Yeah, I guess.
It was fun. It was an easy read. And I liked the way it was drawn, even though it was a little, it was...
And it feels like there's a lot of dialogue boxes, but it's not hard to get through.
Zip right through it.
Yeah, you zip right through it. It's surprising how easy it is to read.
Because it was interesting. It was a good comic, and that was it.
Okay, I guess we'll leave it at that. You know what? Any detractors from that?
That's it. Don't try to tell me any different. You can't change my mind. That's it. It's a good comic, and you can't change my mind.
Okay. It's a good kids comic.
It is. It's good. I'm looking forward to other comics. Maybe I could talk TJ into coming back if Lumpy has to go podcast somewhere else.
All right. Anything else to say?
I got nothing else for this one.
All right, then. Take it away.
What is the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
What?
Lukewarm. Come on. It's lukewarm. Get it? Because he puts Luke... Come on, it's a good one.
That one was so bad.
That one was the first one, and I really enjoyed it.
Uh-huh. You just killed the entire podcast.